All I have in this world is my balls and my word, and I don't break them for no one. Do you understand?
Welcome to Market Makers, everyone. Your home for tomorrow's TA today. Guys, I just did my markets video. I did a bit of an economic rant on there, so I'm not going to repeat all that, but if you want to hear my take on the economy or check out the S&P charts, the world market charts, check out the other video. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. This is a crypto video. Everything will be timestamped below. If you want to trade any of these cryptos, check out BitUnix, be a Market Makers VIP, help support the channel. You guys can join our Discord. You can also join YouTube, members only, where my staff and myself put out our videos for members all throughout the week. You see the whole catalog of videos there since we started doing that, so you can check that out as well. Let's go ahead and jump into this because we have a key event in the marketplace. NVIDIA earnings are out on Wednesday. We have future job reports, future CPIs coming out as well. Again, watch that economic rant if you want to see some of that. But let's talk about the price action on Bitcoin. Right now at 112,557. I'm zoomed out here on my macro cycle chart because it's time for an update. It's time for an update because once again, when the RMA passes through the beach ball, marking the previous all-time high, like we did in 2017, like we did in 2021, as we are approaching it here, that's a warning signal. The last two iterations gave you a market top, a cycle top within 30 days, and you got 75, 80% retracements thereafter. Right now, we are just over 59K. The top it needs to pass through is 69K. If it passes through 69K, again, just about 10,000 plus points away. Once it passes through that, if this was to repeat this cycle, it tells you you should be making a market top within 30 days, right? So we're not there yet, but it is a warning signal. Where we are, just zoomed out here looking at this, is key support on a weekly time frame, utilizing that ceiling just above 109, 109,833. You came all the way down, as a matter of fact, to 110,584 right now. Bitcoin just can't get off its ass and rally. If we look at Bitcoin dominance, you see why. Look at the sell-off in Bitcoin dominance. This could come back down to 57% almost. The channel played out beautifully. Fibonacci played out beautifully at the 1618 at 66%. Then we had the sell-off, trying to hug the bottom of the channel, broke down. It produced some nice results for the alts. But let's look at total market cap. Crypto market cap, guys, when you're looking at the money, and again, I kind of alluded to this as well in the markets video. I think you have a set pile of money that's rotating from asset to asset because you got money market funds at a new all-time high. A lot of money sitting on the sidelines from all the people, mainly Wall Street, that missed out on the third strongest turnaround rally in stock market history. Big rally for Bitcoin, and you see it reflected in total market cap, 3.95 trillion. That was that one attempt at breakout that got you up to 125K. This needs to go up. You need more money in the marketplace to produce these blow off tops. So most likely, again, my base case hasn't changed. We can push up, but I still think you get some type of retracement that allows big dumb money to enter the markets and come back in to give you more money flow to spring these assets up. And again, I could be wrong. Tom Lee has a narrative that he thinks everything's just going to keep grinding up, right? It's going to keep grinding up. My friends, some of my good friends on the Discord have this same opinion that things are just going to keep grinding up. We just hold the support, no retracement really, just a little bit down to 110 at this point, and then it's going back up, next target 132. That's a possibility, guys. I just don't see the oomph. I don't see the surge that you need, and you need to see it in the money to get the prices up. So again, we're looking at our targets here. We never got to 132, which is my long predicted summer rally target. We got to 125. So didn't quite get there. Will we just coil here and spring up to it and then just keep going? I don't know. I still think a likely traceback is coming, retracement is coming. We did have the Black Moon just on Saturday. Bitcoin sold off to the day, okay, to the day with that cycle. Why is this not updated? I guess I forgot to save it. So let's put that over here. Had the Black Moon on Saturday. Sold off. Again, not a big sell-off. It's just a pivot point, right? We use them for confluence. Use them when we look at our indicators, at our TA to see what's happening in the marketplace. So we see that Bitcoin's trying to hold that magical 112. Look, until it breaks down, and getting down to 110 and getting back above it is not breaking down, you're in a coil, right? Daily time frame, you're in a coil. The coil can break to the upside. If NVIDIA surges the markets, maybe you see Bitcoin get a lift as well. The coil can break to the downside until you have something telling you which direction it is, meaning a sell-off, a retest, and then a breakdown, same to the upside. Then you don't know. It's just a sideways coil. Your trading range has not changed. Your trading range is 123 over here, marking the sideways turn, down to your 112. You got an up thrust above it. You got down thrust below it here on the daily time frame. Look at some indicators here. Our DVD, you have bearish volume divergence, as you can see with the trend line. Momentum is still bearish. You don't have an upturn in momentum. You're just coiling, hugging the baseline, almost like you're waiting for some type of key event to happen. You had Powell, you rallied, right? The markets all rallied. The things that underperformed, like the Russell, mega rally. RSP, mega rally. That's the equal weighted S&P. Bitcoin did rally, so did the NASDAQ, so did the S&P, so did some global markets, but it gave it all up, right? So again, you're just stuck. Need some money, right? That's what you need. So you want to watch 123, 236. We'll see what happens here with NVIDIA as well. If we pull down this fib projection where we could go to, there's your 132 right there at 133 if you were to come to the upside. And beyond that, you have 139. But right now, you also want to look at the downside. What if NVIDIA disappoints? What if it causes a tech sell-off? It's 3% of the global GDP. Well, let's just look at some numbers, shall we? Where we could retrace to. I told you guys this already. I got 108.5, 104, 98.5, right? Those are the levels I'd be watching, which also comfortably puts you into support with this candle structure over to your left. MSTR, they bought more Bitcoin. I think they bought another 3,000 Bitcoin. But look what they did here. You retrace down just past almost to the 618. Let's lose the fib so you can see this from a Wyckoff standpoint, right? Look what you did. So when you're looking at support and resistance levels like this, it's important to understand your fractal corridor that you formed, right? Your Wyckoff range, the steps that you made, up thrust failed, ABC down, came down to this level. Where'd that ABC go? We're all the way down to about 325, but what are you doing right now? Remember how Livermore pivot forms to the upside? You break out to the upside, you retest support, then you hold support, break out, take out that high. That's your Livermore pivot. That would be his trade to the long side. It works the same way on the downside. You break down, you retest resistance. What are you doing? Literally right now as I'm recording, you're retesting that resistance. Doesn't mean you can't go through it. Doesn't mean you can't re-enter the trading range. But as of right now, you retested it and you failed. And if you do this move to the downside, that's your Livermore pivot to the downside. So the level to watch is 325. If this starts to roll, if Bitcoin rolls, obviously this is going to roll with it. So those are the levels you'd want to be watching here as well. If we look at our retracements, where we could look at 297, next level down, 254. If this was to get weaker and come down even more. If we look at Ethereum, Ethereum had its run, took out the all-time high there at 48.68, but sold right back off. It went up to 49.55. But again, not a big sell-off. None of this is a big sell-off, right? It's just movement. If you hold this 4,600 level, you could still come up. I wanted to see 5,000 personally. I almost got there. But you can still come up. Again, if the markets do rally and crypto does rally, then it's just that's what's going to happen, because whether the money flow came there or not, there's enough money, there's sufficient money to pump certain assets. But for those broad-based blow-off tops, that's just my opinion. I'm just sticking with it because logically in my brain it makes sense. All that money sitting there, all-time highs in the money markets, sending out their parrots on the business shows to talk about, well, I just talk to me in 6 weeks, Bob. This is seasonally a weak time of year, so we could definitely see a retracement, but we'd be aggressive buyers when that retracement happens. I just think that's what's going to happen, is some type of retracement. You have euphoric moves in these markets, got some key events, you got NVIDIA, you got inflation, you got jobs numbers. So we'll see how everything shakes out. We look at Solana. Where did it come up to? right up to its 205 key resistance, and then it got above it to 212, and now it's back below it at 196. Overall, these trends are bullish, guys. So you look at your low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher lows in place. This is a bullish trend. So this doesn't have to be catastrophic, and it can easily rally if the markets turn up as well. But as of right now, you just don't, the breakthrough moves all faded off some. You gave up the ghost on a lot of them. So you just want to watch this with these events, because more than ever, I was talking to Lee about this morning, I just believe this is an extremely emotional, euphorically driven market. Every time a major news event comes out, market reacts, crypto reacts. Watch those levels. You still have that 175 beneath you, which you used as support multiple times. You're at 196, 212 above you, perfectly at the 1272. If you were to break out above that, 244. We look at SUI. Channel been playing out great. Again, similar concept. Right now you have a coil forming right here. You're up, you're down, up, down, up, down, up, down. This is kind of favoring the downside here. You really want to watch 326. You're at 344. You want to hold that level, keep that low intact, because if you don't, again, you can zoom out, you can draw it, but you have a big macro double top, right? So if you break that level, I'd be looking for a retest down in this range with these candles, with the channel down in that 250, 275 range if SUI continues to sell off. If we look at XRP, look at your volume delta, right? Look at your DVD, selling, right? Look at your momentum, bearish. Look at your money flow, rejected at the midline. Those are just indicators. They all lag except for volume. But when you look at this from a fractal corridor perspective, you completed your ABC. You're trying to hold your Livermore pivot, right? You're trying to hold this. Again, what's the breakout? The breakout is taking out that fractal at $3.69. Then you have higher level targets like 434 above you. XRP is holding up nicely, better than a lot of other coins. You're at 294, 291 was your ceiling. You've had these breakouts before, which ultimately failed, but you've had a long time up here now. You've been up here since July 15th, which seems forever in these markets, and you're just chopping sideways in a coil. So just watch those levels. ADA, we look at ADA, you got a little double top that formed right here, right? You got this little double top. If you break out or break down below 82 cents, you want to watch some lower level targets like 75 cents, and then you have another level down here at 68. You don't want to break 68, because then you're going to be revisiting these lower level candle structures down in that range, down in the 60 cent, 50 cent range. So you want to watch ADA. Again, it's not in danger of doing that as I'm recording. You have your low, you have a higher low, you still have a higher low, you have a high, you have a higher high, bullish uptrend. A lot of the alts are, because you had Bitcoin dominance fall so far, but just watch these patterns, because it takes a catalyst, it takes a match to light the fire, and that's how things can start to burn and spin out of control. Give me a follow at Market Canary on X. Hope to see you on the Discord or in the members only videos on YouTube. Take care, everybody.